good afternoon. I'm getting ready to start another bowl, and I found this blank up under my lathe. It's maple. It's spalted maple. A lot of good wood in this. It's really solid. So it shouldn't give me too much trouble. But man, it sure does have some pretty colors in it, and all that, and it's not so bad gone that you can't even see the grain anymore. So and there's no rot in it that I can really find. So I should be in really good shape on this one. I do have a crack on this side over here that curves outward, so that's going to be turned away, but it may decide to fly off while I'm at it, so I have to be careful there. But I've got it mounted on wormwood screw. It's a 9" by about 4. I believe it's 4. Yeah, about 4 1/4 tall. So I think we can get a pretty bowl out of this. So let's and I do have some repairs I'm going to be having to do too. That right there's a bug hole. I'm sure there's other bug holes and stuff in it too. Yeah, all this right in here. So, all right, let's get this thing going. I think this is going to be pretty. Okay, it looks like I've got to cut all the way around, so that's trued up there. And we'll kind of start working up the bowl, see what we can get here. I think we're pretty good there. Flat spots just about gone. Alright. I'm just roughing here, and yeah, I'm taking about almost, well, it's a 5/16 inch cut. So it's pretty aggressive, just trying to get it roughed out. I'm going to go ahead and start defining my tenon. And with this being spalted wood, I'm going to leave kind of a large tenon, probably about 3 inches or so. So I'm probably going to use that tenon right there. Let me just double check it. See how. Okay, I'm a little over 3 inches So that'll be just fine. Okay. Alright, that ought to be just fine right there. Now I'll finish roughing out. I'll come back to the tenon a little later and true it up once I get ready to turn it around. Alright, I've roughly got a shape that I like, so I'm just going to kind of clean it up a little bit, and then I'm going to put some sanding sealer on the surface. Okay, well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to coat this with sanding sealer just to kind of stiffen up some of these fibers like this right in here, so I can cut them off really nice and easy. Probably going to go ahead and try to fill some of these holes, and there's a bad place here. I'm just going to use some coffee grinds and super glue in all of this and in that hole. Alright, so now I've got all the holes are filled. Well, all the holes that I can detect anyway right now. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to try to seal up this surface a little bit with a sanding sealer, and that should help me, like these little areas where there's a little bit of tear out and stuff. That should help me get that taken care of. So I'm just using sanding sealer, a lacquer based sanding sealer. You could use anything you wanted to. And I'm just going to put it on with a brush. Just brush it on, you know, kind of thick. It'll help with this tear out like around here and stuff like that too. So it'll soak in there, and it doesn't make the fibers hard, but it does stiffen them up a little bit. And that's usually all you need. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, most all this stuff is really good to go. I think the sanding sealer's good. So now I'm just gonna, I've got the shape that I want, but now I'm just gonna go around and kind of scrape this down, and and yeah, and smooth this all out. So anyway, I'm going to try my 3/8 bowl gouge. We'll see how that works out. I'm not going to scrape first. I'm going to use more like a shearing cut. All I'm doing is trying to smooth out this surface, and especially where my repairs are. And that's all I'm doing. And the repairs are looking pretty good now. All right, let's just keep on. My bowl gouge again. I'm just going to come across the bottom. All I'm going to do is square up the tinion with my skewer. Make sure the shoulder's square. It feels slick. Alright, now I just want to look over it. See, that right there is kind of... Alright, that'll do it for the 80 grit. We'll go to 120. Almost there. There we go. That should get me about 3/8 from the bottom. Alright, so let's fire it up. Not quite a clean cut all the way around yet. That should have it. Right, let's see where we're at. Alright. Right about there it starts getting thick. Okay, I need to start trying to follow this profile now. Very, very carefully. see where we're at. Oh my God, that's gonna be beautiful. Okay, so I'm about a 1/4 inch there. And starting here, it starts getting bigger and bigger. So down here, I'm about a 3/8. Here, I'm about, okay. So let's continue working on this. I'm going to go with my half inch. Okay, well, I've got it sanded up to 320, and I'm getting ready. The way I'm going to finish this, I'm going to use sand and sealer, and I'll put that on until basically it doesn't soak in anymore. It shouldn't take much because I've already got I already put one coat on here, and it was a fairly heavy coat, so it shouldn't take but a couple more coats to get this thing ready to go. And then I'm gonna sand it on down. I'll sand it to 400 grit with the sand and sealer on there, and then I'm gonna use the Axe abrasive paste system, and then we're gonna see what it looks like. Those fumes out. Actually, this looks pretty good. I'm just going to try to go sort of with the grain. Well, alright. My sand and sealer's all nice and cured up now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand at 320, and then I'm going to sand at 400. The instructions for this stuff actually say 320, but I don't know. I used 400 one time, and I really like that finish. So anyway, let's see if I can get in here just a little bit. Alright, so we're going to start out at 320, and I'm just going to sand it by hand, lightly sanding, not any kind of heavy sanding. I've already done all of that, so. Alright, now I'm going to start putting on my axe. I'm just going to start out with Axe abrasive paste, abrasive sanding paste. And it doesn't take a lot of this, so all you really want to do is just cover the entire piece. I've just folded up a paper towel, get some on here, and just start putting it in. And I'm not putting much. And all this is going to do is it's going to sand this thing on down to about 1,000 grit. Hopefully everything goes good. Rubbing it down until I don't get any more off on my paper towels. You can see where it's coming off. Once I get the paper towel out without any paste on it, then I'll be done with this step. For the final step, and that's going to be, I'm going to be putting on the Axe Polish Restoring Paste, and I'll do that with a brand new paper towel. That's what it looks like. And this is your polish. This is your the wax that goes over the top. And they say this is food grade also, so you know. Anyway, it's supposed to be a food grade finish, except for the lacquer sanded sealer that I used, I guess. But the axe itself is a food grade finish. So I'll just put a coat in here, and it goes a long way. It does not take much of this stuff. It goes a long way. I'm getting that much right there on my paper towel, and that'll just about cover this entire back of this bowl. I love this stuff. I think it works really well. And the finish is really durable too. It's got carnauba wax in it, and it's a pretty hard finish. Alright, that's after the second coat. And that is, I love that finish. It's just the right sheen. It's not too glossy. It's not like too matte or anything like that. It's just a nice, it's a good looking sheen for a wooden bowl. Alright. Well, alright. There we go. Another bowl project. But this one this one was pretty good. Normally the spalted wood that I turn is almost punky. This wood was pretty hard, and actually on the bottom, if you look at the bottom, you can see this was curly maple, you know, at one time before it started spalting. It's still got some of the compression rings and stuff in it, but it adds a nice figure down in the bottom of the bowl too. But I think this bowl turned out really nice. We had a lot of repairs to do and all of that, but I think it really turned out nice. I love the look of spalted wood. It just, all the black streaks and things like that. But I caught this one in time. It was outside, and I brought it in and put it under the lathe when I noticed it was starting to develop rot. So I thought, well, let me get it in there while it's still good and solid. And this bowl turned out fantastic, I think. I've got one over here I'm pretty worried about. It's a spalted pecan, and I don't know how it's gonna turn out. I may end up throwing it away. It's pretty awful. This is it right here, and it's really in bad shape. I don't think I'll be able to actually do anything with it. But spalted wood is like really, it's a really good challenge to turn, but you know, you just have to be careful. You have to keep your tools really, really sharp. And when you make all your roughing cuts, and you know, pretty much however you want to. But once you start getting that final shape or whatever you're looking for, you have to really kind of lighten up on your cuts and resharpen your tools and all that. And then your scrapers, make sure you sharpen your scrapers before you do anything on spalted wood, because it's just going to tear out with you. The sanding sealer really helps out a lot on kind of stiffening up the fibers a little bit, so you can cut them off. But yeah, I like this bowl, and I'm going to put it on display at my show next month. So I hope you all enjoyed this project, and we'll see y'all down the road.